about The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. This book is probably his best known, and it certainly got him the most recognition, I think. It won the Pulitzer Prize in 1953, and it's pretty much the reason why he won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1954. It's a short little novella. I think it's like 125 pages. It's unique, or rather it was the first of its kind, because his prose is very precise, or like very terse and declarative and to the point. The clouds over the land now rose like mountains, and the coast was only a long green line, with the gray-blue hills behind it. The water was dark blue now, so dark that it was almost purple. As he looked down into it, he saw the red sifting of the plankton in the dark water, and the strange light the sun made now. He watched his lines to see them go straight down, out of sight, into the water, and he was happy to see so much plankton, because it meant to fish. The strange light the sun made in the water, now that the sun was higher, meant good weather, and so did the shape of the clouds over the land. But the bird was almost out of sight now, and nothing showed on the surface of the water but some patches of yellow sun-bleached sargasso weed, and the purple, formalized, iridescent, gelatinous bladder of a Portuguese man-of-war floating close beside the boat. It turned on its side, and then righted itself. It floated cheerfully as a bubble, with its long, deadly purple filaments trailing a yard behind it in the water. So that's a pretty typical passage. It's very descriptive, and you get a good picture in your mind. So it's a pretty simple story. It's just about a man who goes out on a boat. He's an old Cuban fisherman, and he hooks a marlin. So the story's not very profound, but that's not the point. The point is how it's written and how influential it's been. I mean, it's almost a little bit like poetry. And Ernest Hemingway was one of the great writers of the 20th century, along with, he was friends with Gertrude Stein and F. Scott Fitzgerald and all that stuff. I'm also reading A Farewell to Arms. I'll review that later on. But Hemingway was an ambulance driver on the Italian front during World War I. Afterwards, during the 60s, I guess during the 50s as well, he lived in Cuba. And The Old Man in the This book is based on a real person that Hemingway knew. I think his name was Gregorio Fuentes. And the guy lived to be 105 years old. And he remembers, I saw an interview with the old Cuban man before he died, and he was talking about a little bit about Hemingway. They knew each other. So, I think this is one of the best books I've ever read, and I can't recommend it enough. It's really tremendous work. Sorry, I'm knocking everything over now. But that's it for today.